welcome back to another episode of RPMbassy. Now, the record we're going to be talking today, again, I kind of, sometimes I just have a record list. I just pulled out random records. I found this record and I forgot how good this record is. And I always get swept along by record labels and like all the extra added bits like figures and all this kind of stuff. And this is one of the labels for me who kind of nailed that. When it came to not just the vinyl releases but the limited edition vinyls, and they incorporate kind of art with kind of music, but also the collector, so they did loads of figures. The label I'm talking about is Mo Wax, James Lavelle's record label, who I'm a massive fan of. I will do a video on that label one day. But the record I'm talking about today is Unkle and Psyence Fiction. This record came out, I've got some information here. This came out on 24th of August 1998 on Mo Wax, and I remember when this dropped because Unkle had released a couple of records and I was really into the Mo Wax, and there was this connection with Bathing Ape as well. So we used to kind of like hunt them close down, and whenever you seen James Lavelle, he had like the coolest kind of Bathing Ape stuff on. So I automatically, hovered towards this label, and then all the figures, and obviously I've got a love for hip hop, really old school hip hop. I'm finding out Futuro 2000, the graffiti artist was doing all the artwork and these little figures, just blew my mind. But what an album! I mean, it came out in 1998 at Mo Wax. It was produced by Unkle, at the time consisting of James Lavelle and DJ Shadow, who I've always been a massive fan of DJ Shadow. And when it comes to kind of beat collecting and sampling, I mean, Shadow, he's introducing an album, which I'll do another video on at some point, because it sparked my kind of interest in that again. And what a great album. So it was recorded in several different studios. From California, in a place called The Site. Some recordings done in the Strong Room, Milo, CTS, all in London. So it took quite a while for this album to come together because the amount of guest vocalists on here, and obviously Shadow being an American, James Lavelle in London, getting together. But they've got some really good vocalists, some, guests on this album. You've got Alice Temple on Bloodstain, you've got Richard Ashcroft on Lonely Soul. That is just an incredible record. You've got Tom York on Rabbit in the Headlights, which was released as a single. I've got some extra little bits I'm going to show you in a minute as well. So they had loads of guests on this album. You've had Kool G Rap on Guns Blazing. It was like, I was a massive fan of Kool G Rap back in the day. Rabbit in the Headlights. You've got so many good tracks on this album, and it's kind of listening to it. You're not sure what this album is. Is it a hip hop sampling album? Is it an indie album? Is it because of all the vocalists they had on the tracks? And I like that you can't pigeonhole this album. It's just bits of everything. And I think at the time, it was crazy. People were just going mad over it. But doing a bit of research in this album, a lot of people really didn't like this album. Again, they were confused. They didn't know what it was. And now James Lavelle's come out and said that the hype overshadowed the album. I don't believe that. I think it's still a classic album. I think it still has its time. And I think if you have not heard this album, you must go and check this album out. And it's Psyence Fiction from Unkle. As I said, the artwork is just great. With the Futuro 2000 on the back, and on the back, they had loads of like logos, and they had Mo Wax. They had again, we call them pinheads, with the pointy head people from Futuro 2000. You got the Unkle logo. I just loved this. I remember at the time Marahaji, who like a Japanese kind of designer, did loads of like Futuro 2000 trousers, and I still got them. I actually was lucky to see them live twice for this album, with Shadow and Unkle, and they had the Scratch Perverts there as well. So I went and seen them twice with my partner at the time, and it was just a great gig. And I've still got the T-shirt with all the dates in it, but it's way too small for me now. I didn't realise how much I've grown. But just what an incredible album. It came on double on vinyl. So this is the original release. I think there's been kind of CD editions coming out. The CD versions of this I have, is incredible. The amount of money I spent on this album, because there was so many different variations, so many promos. I'm going to show you one in a minute, which was my favourite when it came to this album. It came out in double vinyl, and again, you've got all the kind of Futurity 1000 artwork inside the labels as well. You've got all the Futurity 1000 artwork as well. And I must say, the production, the pressing of this is really nice and solid. I was listening to my decks, I've been listening to records, and I just had it exactly the same volume. But when I put this on, it was like super loud. I mean, the production, the mastering for this album was just incredible. Again, you've got an image of the inner sleeve, record number 2. You've got the image of all the people that kind of took part and kind of collaborated on this album. You got some notes in. This is way too small for me to read, so I don't know how people read that. Maybe I could when I was a bit younger. Again, the other side, you've got the pointy people. It looks like a rough sketch from Futurity 1000, and you've got the credits as well. So that was like the standard kind of release. I mean, it came out on like, for instance, this is like a 12-inch. This is like a sneak preview 12-inch that came out for the album as well. Again, you've got all the logos, you've got the big pinhead, and this had things like Guns Blazing, Parts 1, Part 2, the instrumental Rabbit Headlights, and a track called Unreal, which I'm not sure was on the album. Inside, nothing special, just the vinyl itself, with another one of the pointy heads on the inside. Brilliant. So I hunted that down. I think this cost me a lot of money to get hold of this. A single that got two singles got released from this. I think it was Be There and Rabbit in the Headlights. The Rabbit in the Headlights 12-inch is just great. I mean, you got the pointy head there, some nice graffiti on the back, and then you had the track with Unkle, Be There, come out as well. You got the pointy head. It's just the instrumental, but he's not on the album, which is really strange. So he must have done a vocal on top of it. But you know, coming away from that, this was there was a name for this, and I can't remember what it was. It was something like the Ammo Pack or the Militant Pack or something like that. But they released a box set. It was like a promo for the album itself, and this goes for a lot of money on eBay, you know, Discogs. But it came in this kind of box. It had the pointy people on here, and it had a tape down the middle with all the pointy people on it. It was just so good. But once you opened it, there's nothing. Oh, you've got loads of little ones on the back as well. But once you opened it, the first thing you get is a little 5-inch vinyl CD. Got like a little there. You can see that. Just millions of pointy heads. On here you've got Nursery Rhyme with Badly Drawn Boy. And then you've got Part 2. It's just like a little vinyl. Boy, it's brilliant. I mean, look at that. And that's what I liked about Mo Wax, all the little collectible bits. And this was definitely a collectible bit. You got a little envelope full of stickers. They've got Money Mark. I don't know why Money Mark's in here when it's an Unkle release. Maybe this came from another release, but it's in there. A little Mo Wax stamped little envelope. And then you got a load of stickers as well. And I did use a couple of these on my laptop, but not all of them. I mean, some really nice stickers in here, which I was quite impressed with. But the piece of resistance is in a minute. I'm going to show you this in a minute, which is just incredible. But you've got loads of kind of stickers that came in the pack as well. Some really gorgeous looking ones like this as well. This is a lovely big one as well. Nice big vinyl sticker. So you've got that in the pack as well. But the best thing about this, and I did not know this, so when you pull out the vinyl itself, so you've got the front and back, but when you open it, I'm going to surprise you here. It's a pop-up. Look at that. It's a pop-up of Unkle and all the little pointy heads. And that just blew me away. I think I dropped it when this happened because I was not expecting that. But how amazing is that? This is the kind of the promo box for the Science Fiction album that came out. Came out in just 2 bits of vinyl. So you've got Guns Blazing again, Rabbit in the Headlights, Unreal. So it's kind of like the same as the 12-inch, but that was just a single 12-inch. This is like a special edition kind of box set. The vinyl on the inside. In fact, I lied there. It was just one piece of vinyl. So exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same as a 12-inch. That was just a single one, but this is just a limited edition kind of box set. And then inside it gives you, inside you've got the gatefold, expand, a diorama 12-inch, a 5-inch pocket disc, full Unkle sticker pack. And there's something scribbled out on there, so there must have been something that didn't belong. But it's so good to have this. I'm so glad I have this. And when my kind of vinyl friends come round, they kind of see this. They always offer to buy it, but this is something I'll never get rid of. So it's still out there. It would cost you a lot of money, but that record I'm talking about, if you haven't heard it, is Unkle with Science Fiction. Very much like Massive Attack. I always put these two together when it comes to sound. But what a great album. It only reached number 4 in the UK charts, but it did reach number 1 in the UK independent charts. Dance charts as well, reached number 1 as well. Did quite well in America, didn't do so well in Europe. It was quite a niche sound, to be honest, this album. And at the time, trip hop was massive. You had people like Portishead in Massive Attack. There was so much trip hop going on at the time. And I just think this maybe got kind of smothered a little bit. But go and check this out. This is definitely a future classic, if not a classic at the time. And that's Unkle Science Fiction. Check it out.